Hello, today we are going to be drawing a fun Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be using my black Sharpie, but you can use whatever you have available to you. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. The first thing we want to do is create the screen. So to do this, I'm going to start right about here, kind of on the left-hand side of my paper, and I'm just going to make a vertical line that goes right till about here. Okay, and then I want to make some lines coming out from this vertical line. All right, and I'm going to turn my paper here just a little bit, and I want to kind of measure out where I'm going to stop. So I'll stop right about there. Let's go ahead and draw this line, stop there. Okay, and then I want to do that same thing, but for the one down below. And I'm going to try my best to stop right at about the same part right here. Okay, I can tell it's a little bit off, but that's fine. We'll fix it. So now we're going to turn our paper and we're going to go up, right? And again, they're a little bit different lengths here, so we can go ahead and just connect them, right? Continue on the same line and then connect it right there. And again, if you need to, pause this video so that way, you can go back to anything and take your time. But now we're going to go ahead and create the screen around it. So we're going to go and make these kind of parallel lines that are the same exact length as the lines that we created earlier, right? And there's a reason to this. It's because we're going to end up curving it at the end. And we'll go ahead and do this last one here. So I'm just kind of creating this little border without connecting the lines. And the reason why I want to do that is because these ones are going to be connected, but the angle is going to be curved. So it's not going to be a hard corner. Instead, it's going to be a curved corner. So I'm going to start on this line, come out, and then curve it in. All right. I'm going to start on this line right here, continue with it, and then curve it in. And I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll continue on this line, and then kind of curve, make a rounded corner. And last one right down here, curve it in. And there we go. Okay. And now we just got one more rectangle to make. And this one, we can make it a little bit longer than what we have, because these ones are going to be a hard edge. Let's go ahead and make it till about there. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. And notice that I kind of want the width of these ones to be a little bit less than the width of the border that I created to begin with. So now I'll go ahead and start right down here. Okay, and then connect this because I can tell it wasn't necessarily long enough. And then I'm going to do the same thing right over here. I'll bring it down and connect it down there. Awesome. So now we have, the total center part of the Nintendo Switch. And I want to add a little funny face to this. So I'm going to draw a circle to begin with to make the left eye. All right, it's about as big as a nickel. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to kind of give a big space here between the eyes. Create it just like this. And now I want to go ahead and make a small circle down at the bottom here. And I'm going to do the same thing, but on the opposite side. Do a little small circle over here. And now I'm going to create one more circle, but it's going to be a bigger one. It's going to connect to the top opposite corner. And same thing on this side, top opposite corner. All right. Now we can go ahead and just color this in. All right. Everything that is not one of our circles, we can go ahead and color this in. Just like this. Let's stay in our lines here. And then I want to go ahead and make the mouth. And I want it to be kind of a funny looking mouth. So I'm going to draw a big oval. All right, and it's kind of tilted to its side. And then I'm going to draw some U shapes here to make the teeth. So I'll come out from the mouth, go down, around, and then back in. All right, out from the mouth, down, around, and back up. And let's create, let's go ahead and get one more here. Awesome. And then we just want to make a little round arc, right, for our tongue. And we can put a little line in the middle of it too. Here we go. That's a funny face. So now we have a screen. We have our eyes. Let's go ahead and do our Joy-Cons. I'm measuring where I want the Joy-Con to start. And I'm going to go ahead and make a little line like this. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing for the other side, right over here, but I want to make sure it's an equal distance. So I'm kind of measuring with my fingers here, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the same line. And notice that I'm making it shorter than the device. And I'm going to do this again because we're going to create some rounded corners here. So now I'm going to make a rounded corner. So I'm going to start, twist my paper. I'm going to start on this line. And then I'm going to round it and connect it to the console. All right, now I'll go ahead and I'll start on the console and I'll continue this line and then round it to connect to the edge of my Joy-Con. And we're going to do that same exact thing for the other side. So I'm going to go out of this line here. All right, and I'm going to do a big round corner. Connect it to my console, and then let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. All right, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and start from the console, and I'm going to then connect it to the edge of my Joy-Con. So come out, continue that line, round it, and connect it right about here. All right, there we go. Now we got to put some buttons in here. So we can start with the bumpers. We're going to come out from the Joy-Con. Not too far. We're going to follow that same curve and then connect it back in. So there's our right bumper. And now we can do the left one. Again, we're going to come out from the Joy-Con. We're going to follow this round edge. And then we'll curve it back in. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the little plus button that we see at the top of the Joy-Con. I'm going to create a line. Go over, go down. Go to the side, go down, go to the side. I'll go down here, I'll go to the side. I'm going to go up, side, and then connect it in. If you need to, pause the video and watch that part again, okay? Let's go ahead and get our buttons in. We're just going to create some circles here. They're going to be pretty small. We'll start with the top one. All right, and then we'll do the one on the right. About the same size circle. We'll do one across here on the left. And then we got one more down the bottom here. All right, so now we got our buttons here. And let's go ahead and draw our thumb pad. We're going to make a big circle, a little bit smaller than a quarter. Circle here, and then let's go ahead and put one more circle within this one, so that way we can kind of color it two different colors when we get to adding color here. And then I think we got one more little button down here on the bottom left hand corner, and this is a circle. We can make it about the same size as the circles above. All right, so let's go ahead and put the buttons on our left Joy-Con. I'm going to go ahead and start with our thumb, our little thumb button here. Why am I forgetting that name? I'm too concentrated. All right, and then I'm doing one inside of it, right? We're pretty much doing the same thing, but a little bit in different order, but we do have a rectangle shape up here instead of a plus button. There we go. All right, and just how I have those 4 buttons on the right-hand side, I'm going to do the same thing on the left. So let's start with the top one. We'll do one on the right, about the same size. We're going to go across to the left. And then we'll do one right down here on the bottom. All right, and then we got one more little button down here on the bottom right. And this one is just a square. And there we go. All right, so now we are all good to go and start coloring. I'm going to go ahead and start a time lapse, and you can check back in, see what it looks like when we're done. So here it is. This is the finished product, right? I went ahead, I colored it, I thickened up those lines on the outside. I hope you had fun with this one, and we will see you on the next one.